let's get right into this review for Anora. So this film is directed by Sean Baker, and the story follows main lead Mickey Madison, who plays Anora, a sex worker who finds herself in a chaotic relationship with a wealthy customer named Zakharov, played by Mark Eidelstein. And right off the bat, huge props to the cast here because there are plenty of scenes and sequences that require a high level of chemistry, and I truly believe everyone nailed their respective roles within this narrative that's provided here. Especially Mickey Madison, who had to lead pretty much all of these chaotically bold, funny, or melancholic sequences with her performance. Absolutely no problems with the casting choices made here. Now as for the big question, how is the overall story? I'll be honest, this was a mixed bag for me. Looking at the high praises from critic reviews beforehand, I had high expectations going in, and by the time credits rolled, I was left feeling more on the disappointed side with how the story flowed and how it inevitably played out by the third act until its conclusion. And I think one important thing to note is that this film doesn't follow the typical Hollywood formula of dramatic storytelling that most modern audiences are used to seeing on the big screen. So that will ultimately lead to many polarizing reviews and experiences to this film package as a whole. And I came to this conclusion because of several reasons. First off, the pacing here is deliberately offbeat to create chaos by fusing dark comedy and potent drama. And what I mean by that is you'll have segments that feel like a non-stop roller coaster of absolute chaos, and then you'll abruptly enter segments with snail-paced slow burners. And I know this unique pacing won't be able to keep everyone captivated until the very end. Secondly, the storytelling here is incredibly bold and unforgiving with its direction, which I know won't be for everyone. Lastly, the overall story presentation here isn't something that's easily digested, and I know some viewers will be left confused by the narrative package presented as a whole. As for me personally, I sort of fell in between the cracks of having found some beauty to this film's purpose, but also to a good chunk of inherent flaws found in the presentation of the story here. To get into what I thought were the negative aspects, I did think the film dragged on a bit too long with several repetitive segments. I thought the main themes here tackling the fantasies of love, tragedies of facing reality, and some potent messages in regards to the life of sex workers felt messy at times in its execution, and I honestly thought some major story elements actually conflicted with some of the main themes here. It was to the point that I had to search for online conversations after my screening to find more absolute answers towards the purpose of certain segments that I encountered in the narrative. And after witnessing the conclusion, I looked back and thought there were several character decisions made at different parts in the story that were quite irksome and questionable. Same level of irritation I felt witnessing Ant-Man smacking Thanos when the other Avengers almost got the Infinity Gauntlet out of his hand. Sorry for the random example, it was the only one I could think of at the moment. Anyways, my final score for Anora is 6 out of 10. Overall, I thought Anora was still a unique cinematic experience that definitely has inherent flaws within the pacing, the story direction, and several redundant sequences. After considering everything as a whole, I thought the film was just okay. Like I said, this will be a mixed bag for sure, in which I happen to fall towards the negative spectrum. But yeah, I still think this is a film worthy of giving a shot at while it's still in the theaters, so you can come to your own conclusions about this cinematic experience. Who knows, you might enjoy it a hell of a lot more than me. Anyways, thanks for checking this review out. I got more on the way, so stay tuned. But until my next upload, peace.